is Splash FM Welfare Unit. It is Union Bank, and the account number is 020 627 5094. If you are watching on Facebook, the account number is on this post. I've pinned it on this post. I look forward to your help. Prince Adeoye Omowumi Samuel says, unless African leaders get it right, we shall continue to experience this coup. You know, coup is a reflection of poor governance and killing in Africa. Promise in his ear says, I think we should stop these narratives. An administration that will bring change does not need 100 years to show us a direction. Can you point to anything this government is doing that has given you hope? That is Promise in his ear there. Francis Chukwacha is watching. Thank you, Francis. Francis, share this broadcast if you can. Olatubosu Yinka is watching. Mr. Olatubosu Yinka, share the broadcast if you can. Hello, Olufemi Ajayi. Olufemi is saying there can't be democracy without Democrats. Likewise, no revolution without revolutionaries. We should justify the inclusion of democracy in our polity. Do you know how annoying it is when you rig an election and you are sworn in? Even as a local government chairman, even as a state governor, it annoys me a lot. Sometimes I just have to control myself. It annoys me. Nothing annoys me like that. It drives me crazy. There are times I feel like running away. I say, what? How can you rig election and you were sworn in? But you are sworn in, and the same constitution now gives you legitimacy after rigging election. You know the anger you create in the minds of people? And that anger leads to underdevelopment. Because of anger, people will undermine the state when they have the opportunity. If you rig an election, you are not a Democrat. If you are preaching democracy, you are pretending. I was talking about coups before I recommended some books to you. I'm still talking about books because we need to produce the kind of leaders that will change Africa. And they must be knowledgeable. Go and read about Lincoln. You read his autobiography, you see that he's knowledgeable. He's knowledgeable and he's visionary. He's a visionary. Some people have the degrees, but they are not visionaries. They don't see anything. They only see what they want to steal. They only see the cars they want to buy for themselves and their wives. That is their own vision. They only see how they want to oppress people. Why nations fail, the origins of power, prosperity, and poverty. Darren Asimoglu and James Robinson. Have you read this book? Why Nations Fail. Why Africa is Failing. If you read this book, you will see why Africa is failing. What books are you reading? You're reading motivational books, how to make money. That's also good. That's fine too. I read business books too. There's a business books I'm reading. Business Adventures, 12 Classic Tales from the World of Wall Street by John Brooks. Business Adventures, I'm reading it too. You can read it. Come, let's go. See, are you with me in this class? I was giving you a breakdown of coups in Africa in recent time. You have military leaders in Chad, in Mali, in Guinea, in Sudan, in Niger, now in Gabon. What is also happening is popular uprisings against long-serving dictators who call themselves Democrats. They organize sham elections to perpetuate themselves in power. One of such dictators is Paul Biya. The 90-year-old president of Cameroon has been in power since 1982. He has appointed new military leaders on the same day the military seized power in neighboring Gabon. What is the old man saying? You saw Paul Biya in the United States recently, in that leadership meeting with the President of America at 90. It's not even the age that matters. From what I saw that day, Paul Biya is finished. On Wednesday, Paul Biya carried out a wide-ranging reshuffle of his country's defense ministry and armed forces. Although no reason was given for the shakeup, yet the move is being interpreted as a preventive measure against the coup contagion that is presently sweeping through former French colonies in West and Central Africa. You know, most of the coups are in Francophone countries. Africa is replete with wasteful leaders. Buhari was wasteful, like Jonathan was wasteful. Let's look at Guinea. It was Ali Bongo that was overthrown on Wednesday. Ali Bongo. His father was Omar Bongo. His father was Omar Bongo. Let's talk about his father. The late Omar Bongo was born in 1935. He died in 2009. Now, when he died, his son took over. They are the owners of Gabon. They've governed that country for 52 years, father and son. As of 2008, Gabon, a country with an estimated population of 2.4 million, had a debt of $2.4 billion, courtesy Omar Bongo, a country of about 2.4 million people. The debt profile of that country as at 2008 was 2.4 billion. Don't forget, Gabon is an oil-rich country. Oil-rich. They have abundant petroleum resources. In the midst of growing poverty, Omar Bongo had 66 bank accounts, 183 cars, and 39 luxury properties in France. He was the friend of France. In 1999, it was discovered that he kept some of the money he stole, about $130 million, in the private banking unit of New York City Bank. That was just small money, chicken feed. Bongo, in collaboration with his friends in the West, borrowed $4 billion for a failed railway project in Gabon. A large chunk of this amount found its way back to European banks. Gabon remains one of the poorest countries in the world due to the character of its leadership. With its abundant petroleum resources, the country should be an emerging power. But like Nigeria, its elites have plunged it into hardship and pain. Omar Bongo Ondimba was the president of Gabon for about 42 years, from 1967 until his death in 2009. That his son, a wasteful boy, Ali Bongo, took over the reign of leadership and power after his father's death in 2009 tells the story of politics and debt in Gabon. I'll tell you about the man in Togo. His name is For Nyadema. His father, Nasingbe Nyadema, overthrew the government of Sylvanus Olympio in Togo in 1963. He died around 2005. Obasanjo helped install his son, For Nyadema, as the president of Togo. So any child born from 1963 has only known Nyadema in Togo as the leaders. Togo is a French colony. I hope the military boys are not smelling something there. Dr. Yemi Farubi, happy to have you on State Affairs this morning. How are you, sir?
Thank you, Edmund. After listening to you, how can one be other than to be sad? Sad for a group of people being led badly and who allow themselves to be led badly.
They allow themselves to be led badly.
Yes.
What can they do?
There are things that you can do. I would like to talk about this small country called Philippines. I was there. It was being led by a dictator called Marcos.
Ferdinand Marcos.
Yeah. And I was there. Heavily supported by the West as usual. Terrorizing, intimidating, victimizing everybody. Privatizing and personalizing the wealth of that nation. At a point, the people thought enough was enough. And they started what they call EDSA. It's a mass social action. It's not a demonstration. It's a movement of people who are dissatisfied. A movement of people who are angry, who are hungry, who are frustrated, and who say enough is enough. They move into the streets. Manila is like Lagos. About 10 million people move into the streets. Not carrying placards. Waking up every morning at 6 a.m. and sitting on the road. And everybody, including the high and the mighty, including the church. The Catholic Church controls 96% of the citizens. This movement was led by the head of the Catholic Church, Cardinal Saint. The Reverend Father, the Reverend Sister, the Reverend Mother, they were all there on the streets sitting. No placard. We have had enough. And Marcos, as usual,